Okay, everybody, in 22.2, we've already looked at number one. Just refresh our memory up here at number one. And now I'm going to look at number two and three together. So here's our equation. And number two is, you know what, there's our equation right there. Number two is saying the point 600 comma 200 is located to the right and above the line. So this point is located to the right and above the line. So right here. Part A is asking, does the combination of turf and gravel meet the homeowner's constraints? Explain or show your reasoning. And I just want to make a little mark that the turf, which is on your y-axis, right? So our turf, if we remember correctly, was pretty expensive. Our turf is at $15 per square foot. And our gravel, which is over here on the x-axis, our gravel was not as expensive, and that was at $3 per square foot. So the 0.600 comma 200 basically means that our gravel is 600 square feet and at $3 per square foot. So we're going to do $3 times 600. And then we're going to add that to the turf. The turf is the Y, which is 200. So that's $15 for 200 square feet of that. So I'm going to bring up my calculator real quick and have that do the math for me. Well, you know what? We can kind of figure this one out at least. 3 times 6 is 18. So this is going to be 1,800 plus, and then we're just going to double that. It's going to give me 15 times 200, which is going to be 3,000. So if we add that together, I'm getting 4,800. And I'm just going to double check and make sure. Oh, yeah, no, $4,800. This kind of runs into a problem, right? This point right here is a problem because if you remember from number one, she only has $3,000. This gave us above, this was too much. So because that's too much, then this does not, this point, 600 comma 200, does not actually make the constraint of a budget of $3,000. So it is not a solution. It is not a possible combination. So if we go to B, part B, it says choose another point in the same region. So when they say region, I don't know if you remember from the previous lesson with Mr. Ryan, this line kind of cuts our graph into two regions. So here's region number one, here's region number two. We're going to pick another point in this region, and we're going to see if this combination actually meets the homeowner's constraint of $3,000. So any point in this top region, number one. Let's go ahead and do what's that, 400 and 200. That looks fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do 400 comma 200. You probably are thinking, well, if 600 comma 200 didn't work, the chances of another point in that region working probably not possible, but let's just go ahead and prove it with math. So remember, x is gravel, right? X is gravel. Y is turf. So let's go ahead and do our numbers. So it's $3 times 400 plus the $15 times 200. That's going to be $1,200. And this is going to be $3,000. And when we add those together, we definitely went over $3,000. So that is also not a good point. This is not a good point, and that is not a good point. So that's not going to actually meet the homeowner's constraint. So let's go ahead and take a number three. Number three is talking about the point 200 comma 100, which is located left and below the line. So now we're looking at a different region, not the top region anymore. And does this actually meet the homeowner's constraint? So let's go ahead and do the math real quick. So this is your x, and this is your y. So $3 for the x. So 3 times 200 plus $15 for the Y, which is 100. This is going to give me $600 for gravel plus $1,500 for our artificial turf. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's $2,100. Yes, that checks out. That actually leaves me $900 left with my budget of $3,000. Let's go ahead and pick another point in this region over here and see if this is another possible combination. You're probably already saying to yourself, well, if that point worked, I bet, considering the previous lesson 22.1, that at any point in this region might work. Let's go ahead and pick 600, 50. So I'm going to pick the point 600, 50. This is my x and this is my y. So it is going to give me at $3 times 600 square feet plus $12 times 50 square feet. This is going to be 1,800 plus 12 times 50 is, let me double check. I can do this in the head. So that's, I think that's 600. 12 times 50. So 12 times 50. Oh, yep, I was right. $600. And that's going to give me 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, $2,400. So this also works too. So as you can see, any point in region 1 meant the homeowner spent over $3,000. So anybody in this region went over $3,000. But points down here in region number 2, we were under $3,000.